Hi.
Hi, how are
How
you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am very wonderful. Thank you for having me today.
Of course. Number one, you look beautiful. I will say
Oh,
this.
thank you.
Yes, you look stunning. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for making the time out of your busy schedule to speak
Absolutely.
with me here on Hello Fitness TV. Now, my understanding is Dr. Nina, can I refer to you as Dr. Nina? Or
Dr.
Dr.
Gina.
Gina. Oh my gosh, I said that again.
It's okay.
Did you hear me on my story on
It's
Follow the Lita?
okay. I did. Thank
Where
you.
does this come from? I think I read it somewhere. I wrote it somewhere, and now it's stuck in my brain. I
It's okay.
apologize.
That's okay.
Dr.
Dr.
Gina,
Gina
do
is
you mind if
fine.
I? Okay, perfect. Now, my understanding is, Dr. Gina, that you're good friends with Maureen. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, wonderful. So, again, I do appreciate you making time because I know it's kind of last minute as well.
Sure.
But I'm actually really excited to speak with you, especially in times of this pandemic and crisis, if you will, because for me personally, I'm hearing so much mixed information. I'm currently in California, in Los
Yes.
Angeles, and I know you're in Texas, in a state that is
Yes.
opening, if not already opened. And as a physician,
Already open.
can you explain? So, or full-fledged, like stores, restaurants,
Pretty much. For gyms open today. So yes, we're pretty full-fledged. Yes,
gyms.
open. Yes.
Wow. Okay, so can we
Yes.
just start there? How I don't even know how to even like
I
ask this
can't
question,
fathom
but
it.
I
I mean,
really just
it's
want to
just
know. Okay.
totally unbelievable. Let me just start. Let me just say this has changed our world. I mean, it's totally changed our approach to life in and of itself. As a physician, critical illness is it is definitely no stranger. I'm no stranger to critical illness, but I have never seen death so fleeting. And I just wish people are talking about putting on a mask. I have to walk into patients' rooms, and not only am I masked, they can only see my eyes, but a lot of these patients are so critical that I'm walking them through what may be their last moments. I mean, it's that
Mm.
the respiratory status just decreases so quickly in these patients. And it's so much more than just wearing a mask. I mean, this is truly life and death like we've never seen it before. Like I've never seen it before. I'm a practicing board certified emergency physician for 10 years now.
Oh,
And I've
wow.
never seen such sickness and death so quickly. So stay at home, hashtag stay at home, do your part. There's nothing like walking somebody through their last moments alone. Usually we're talking to families, we're weighing risks and benefits and patient encounters, and so many things happen when people deteriorate quickly. But now it's a different beast. It's people are walking through by themselves, and you're making
Mm.
decisions for patients without the input of their loved ones or even their last wishes. So I cannot enforce it enough. Stay at home. We're not ready to open up. Schools should be out, and we're now looking at what's safe for children. So I'm here to answer your questions.
Yeah.
I want you to get as much information as possible, and definitely just open it up.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for sharing that because I
Sure.
think, listen, I have friends, and I'll admit, even myself, being in this state, because I know that we're both in different states and perhaps seeing
Yes.
different and hearing different things. Um, a lot of even people that I know are making it out that the media is really hyping up the severity or say the danger of this illness of COVID, and a lot of them feel, and I will say, a lot of my fellow trainers and a lot of my closest friends, we're all super healthy and fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're just so
Mm-hmm.
dying to get back to
Yeah.
the normalcy of our,
That's right.
pre-COVID lives. And they
Mm-hmm.
kind of think, well, I don't know anybody that's gotten sick. I'm healthy. Like I need to get back. I,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm dying. And I say this because
Right.
I feel like it's somewhat insensitive knowing that there really are people that are actually losing their lives over this and family members that are losing their lives.
Yes.
What do you say to those people that perhaps may be misinformed or not really understanding the severity of what you're seeing and dealing with
Right.
at work? What kind of verbiage would you use to kind of shed light on the reality from your perspective?
Let me set the record straight. Okay. Let me make it very plain. Healthy people
Mm.
are not living through this like we think they are. It's the healthy ones. Yes, if you have multiple medical problems and you don't take your medicines and you're overweight and maybe you are having more than one problem at a time and you get COVID, things will be bad. But guess what? I know somebody who's 31 years old, who I work with, who's a very close part of my work family, who got it and who's healthy and who didn't have any other medical problems. And she wound up in the ICU on 44 different medicines, fighting for her life. So it may not be you, but the ones you're protecting are the people who can't protect themselves, right? Grandma who's 80, who goes to the Walmart, right? Who's otherwise, yes, probably not out and about now. But then she meets with a friend who you know, who doesn't have any symptoms and who's healthy. But what happens is that person's an asymptomatic shedder. So what happens is somebody like you or me may be healthy. We may have it. Maybe our taste is off. One of the symptoms is, your taste and your smell can be decreased in this illness. So, and a young healthy person that gets it, you may not taste your food. Maybe you don't smell things normally. Guess what? You have it and you can shed the virus looking well. That's the problem with this. It's well people who shed the virus and who otherwise well and pass it to grandma who's 88 and may not do so well. That's the real risk here.
So just so I have this clear, Dr. Gina, we could all be carriers.
That's right.
I could be
right.
I could be a carrier right this very minute.
That's right.
And because I'm healthy,
that's right.
And perhaps, I consider myself having a strong immune system. I'm not the type of person that gets sick every season.
That's right.
My body could be fighting it naturally.
Absolutely.
I'm not showing any symptoms. I feel completely fine. I'm still exercising, but I could be carrying it. See, that's a really scary reality.
That's the thing. You're carrying it and you're shedding it to somebody whose body is not as strong, right? And so everyone's running out to get the antibody test. I want to make a few clarities about the antibody test.
Please.
It tests for two different kind of antibodies, IgG and IgM, okay? One of those antibodies becomes active in your body when it's actively fighting the virus. Between 0 and 14 days of fighting a virus, you'll have an antibody that'll pop up, that'll be active, and you'll test positive for antibodies, okay? The other one is a longer antibody, and that will be positive. Maybe you've cleared the virus already, that your body remembers that response, right? It's immunity. So your body remembers that you have that response. So IgG and IgM. So say I'm feeling well, but to return to work, I need to go get an antibody test. Say I pop up for IgG. That means I have had the virus and my body has likely cleared the virus. But guess what? You could still actively shed the virus.
Right.
So the only way to test if you're an active shedder, if you have a still virus in your body that you can shed on, is a nasopharyngeal swab. That's separate from the antibody test, okay? An antibody test that you're getting for COVID is a quick finger stick. The actual test to see if you have active virus within your body that you can still shed, even being asymptomatic, having no symptoms at all, you can still shed the active virus, is a nasopharyngeal swab. And that goes deep into the nasal turbinates, and that will test whether you're actively shedding. So you can be positive for antibodies, which everybody wants to be positive for antibodies, right? Your body's pretty much cleared the virus, but what's important is that nasopharyngeal swab, if you can actively still shed the virus.
Actively, right. Okay. And then just so I also have this clear, and for those that also perhaps need the clarification, you could have had COVID,
yes,
not realized, essentially come out of it.
Yes.
Not realizing it,
right,
could still be able to spread.
Absolutely.
Huh. Okay, so that's something new I didn't know. Okay.
Absolutely. And no symptoms at all. No symptoms.
Right.
Maybe you have a little headache, but who doesn't get a little headache every once in a while? Okay.
Yeah.
But guess what? It could be COVID. Maybe you've got a little congestion or cough, sneeze. Remember, viral symptoms are the most common. And sometimes if you're not a sickly person, like I won't even say how many times I can count on my fingers I've been sick, not that many. Right. But it's important to wear a mask to prevent your droplets from spreading in the community, okay? And shedding that virus. That's why it's important to wear the mask.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to have antibodies. That's what the goal is for pretty much everybody. Everyone wants to have antibodies.
Right, but you can still pass it on.
Pass it on.
Even if you have, and that's really important. I don't think that kind of verbiage is something that's being really widespread, at least not here in California in our local news. So if you're listening and you're hearing this, please do share that information with people, because for those that feel like, and I feel like I know so many people, like I feel like I already have it. I feel like I had it. And now that you say that, perhaps they have. But just
perhaps
because
they have
you've had it doesn't mean that you're not contagious to the next person.
Remember,
you're elderly.
We found out about this virus in when? February, March. It was around way before that.
Way
These present like
before.
common cold symptoms, right? So who thought they had maybe a sinuses or the common cold, or maybe they just felt a little stuffy, took some Zyrtec and we're fine.
Wow.
They're 25 years old and they're otherwise healthy, no medical problems, no
Yeah.
medicines. So I want to spread the news that don't believe the hype. Don't
Yes.
believe the hype. You can be healthy and spread this virus to somebody who's not healthy. And that is the issue that we're having now with reopening up, right? People that look well, they go into the gym, they touch things, they go into the
Golly.
supermarket, they touch things, they go to the grocery store, they go to the movie theater, they're all open up. The nail salon. Everyone wants to get a pedicure. Even I
Right.
want my nails done. Everybody
Right.
wants to get some gel. But those entities are not safe right now. It's not safe really at this point to be in a common setting where you are more than 10 people, where you're sharing, even eating.
Right.
Restaurants, you have to think about the air circulation in a restaurant. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
smoking, people leaving, even taking a smoke and setting it down. This virus lives for 72 hours on a surface, right? We know that.
This is
So
unbelievable.
we have to take precaution. I don't think, the media is putting it out there like that, but I'm on the front line. I see it. When will we be safe?
Yeah.
We will be safe when everybody really does a true lockdown. And we haven't done that
Wow.
yet. We haven't done that yet. So we will get a second wave. There will be a second wave and there'll be a
I
third
was
wave of this. There will be.
absolutely the way you're explaining it, it's
Yes.
inevitable. It just
Yes.
seems so inevitable. And I
Yes.
can only imagine for yourself, your fellow staff, those that are on the
Mm-hmm.
truly the front lines of this
Mm-hmm.
pandemic. This must be a really scary time. Like
It
there's
is.
there's lots of jokes and this idea of like wanting to get back in the gym. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit I'm definitely one of those people. Like I all I keep
Yeah.
thinking about is getting back to my normal self and simply going to the gym. But when I
Yeah.
hear you speak about this and how serious it is, and knowing that there'll be a second, perhaps third wave,
Mm-hmm.
that's real. And this is
It's
going
real.
to carry on. Now, like your state, the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that you work out of Baylor University.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Waco or is it
No, so the graduate school is in Waco, but
Waco? Okay.
I work downtown at CHI St. Luke's Baylor, and that's in the medical center in Houston, Texas. Mm-hmm.
Now, your state, you're open.
Yes, we're
Are
open.
are you guys prepared for that
We
second
are.
wave?
We are.
Okay.
The NRG Stadium has, a whole setup for
Oh,
that. I believe
wow.
it's still in place. We've seen cases uptick since we've actually opened kind of a little bit, little by little, but now we're kind of seeing an uptick again. So of cases. And they're critical cases. I mean, I'm still intubating. I'm putting breathing tubes in pretty much every shift. We're seeing critical cases. I'm in full personal protective equipment. I have my own personal respirator. I have multiple masks, plenty of N95s. Our hospital's well stocked. So that's really,
Wonderful.
really good.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, when it became real for me was when I had to break bad news to a family completely covered up that I wasn't able to do life-saving measures. I wasn't able to complete life-saving measures. And I could not touch that person. I could not hug that family. I could not sit with them in a closed space. It was like the most impersonal thing that I've ever done in my life. And I
Yeah.
think that's when it became real to me. As a physician on the front line, it is probably the most harrowing thing to be able to not, one, save a life, but two, meet that family for that patient where they are. And so it's tough for us on the front line. I beg people, please stay home. Please, if you're able to work from home, work from home.
Right.
If you're able to keep your kiddos home for the summer, do that. Don't send them up in camps. Um, you know, be very judicious about where you spend your free time as far as, celebrating holidays. People are going to have
Mm.
anniversaries, birthdays, all kind of things July 4th is going to come. Everyone wants to go to the beach. I mean, we're going to see an uptick in cases. We will.
For
We will.
sure. Speaking
Hmm.
of holidays, we've got the Memorial Day weekend coming up.
It's coming upon us.
Yes, and I feel like here in California, our governor has told us that we're looking at August,
Hmm.
and just um, psychologically, people are thinking, I cannot go that far. I'm out. This idea of like, I haven't got the endurance to like maintain this life. It is scary. And I am wondering if we're going to see a lot more people sort of get together in backyards, try to
Yes,
be at
we
the
will.
shore. Really
Yes, we
scary
will.
stuff. So, Dr. Gina, let's just switch this conversation because you are, and many of you, obviously, of your coworkers and your staff are on the front lines, and that I am truly grateful. Thank you so much for your
Absolutely.
efforts and your work at the hospital. Can I speak about your own personal safety? I know you to be a
Sure.
mother of four, which actually
Hmm.
blew my mind when Maureen told me.
Yes, ma'am.
I get to play a bonus mom to four sons, and they are the joy of my life.
Yeah.
But they're a lot of work. I
Hmm.
cannot even imagine a woman balancing a professional life with a family and household of four, especially during this pandemic. Can you speak about your own personal safety, your concerns regarding
Hmm.
that? I
Yes.
assume you're still going home to your family,
Yes.
correct?
I'm
Can
going
you
home with
can
my
you speak?
family.
Yeah,
Sure.
can you speak on that so we can understand the reality that you're going through personally?
Absolutely. So when I leave the house in the morning, I leave in my regular clothes. I get to the hospital, I change into my scrubs, I put on my full PPE, which is a white, pretty much like a white Tyvek suit, goggles, a mask, and a full P100 respirator. And I'm in that for at least 4 hours before I take a break to pump breast milk for my infant daughter.
Wow. Oh my
And
goodness.
I decontaminate myself at work. I remove everything. I full donning and doffing of all my personal protective equipment. Go into the small staff lounge and pump for about 25 minutes. Pump breast milk. Then I don all my gear again after decontaminating myself, and I get back out there on the floor. And then I finish my shift, 8 or 9 hours pretty much, and I go shower in my hospital shower, take off my equipment again, and I put on my same clothes that I came into the hospital with. I drive
Mm.
home, and my husband so graciously has built me kind of like a little decon station. I enter through the garage into our laundry room. I completely doff all my clothes, take everything off that I wore. I walk about 22 steps, I've counted, 22 steps from my garage laundry room to my spare bedroom in the front of the house, and I shower for 30 minutes, decon myself there, and then
Wow.
I get dressed in my full clothes. But I can't breastfeed my infant until I'm completely showered for 30 minutes. My kids don't touch me. I don't kiss or hug anybody. But the
Mm.
first thing I do before I do all that,
Mm.
and this is going to be sort of personal because I have never shared this with anybody else, but I feel like
Oh,
I'm moved to share this,
thank you.
is I decontaminate my mind. And what I mean by that is that when I pull my car into my drive, there's a small tree
Mm.
outside my home there, and I get out of my car and I leave everything from that day, all the things I could do, all the things I did, and all the things I couldn't do, and I leave it on that tree. And it's sort of my own little
Mm.
personal ritual that I do, and it's gotten me through this time. And let me explain why. Because we're in a time where people don't know what to trust. They're getting information from
Right.
all different sources. They're seeing the
Absolutely.
president take hydroxychloroquine
Right.
when it's been proven to do nothing. They're watching people in other countries. They're watching people put into trucks and body bags. They're watching no
Mm.
funerals. They're watching, all these different measures that we're taking. And I think we need to really kind of reset our minds. And that's what I do every single day before I take off my doctor hat and put on my mom hat. I reset my mind and I tell myself, I'm doing the very best that I can with all that I have. I'm doing the very best that I can. And I want to also give so much of what I am to my kids now because I've given
Right.
everything to my patients. And I completely change over my mental outfit. I change my mental
Beautiful.
outfit,
Okay. Yep.
and I prepare myself for my next obstacle, right? Getting dinner, getting drinks, making my own
Oh,
food, making my kids, getting them in their bath, doing hair, doing all my activities of daily living
all your
in
mom
my house,
roles.
in my household, right?
Yeah.
I would be remiss to say that I did this alone. I have a fantastic nanny who is absolutely hands down my best right hand. I mean, she is just next to my husband, but she is just been such a gift to our family, who really cares for us. So I don't do it alone.
Right.
I do have good help, and she understands the workings of my household. So some days I come in and it's, pour a glass of wine. All I need is a glass.
Understandable.
Yeah. And so she kind of feels that, meets me where I am there. So it's meeting people where they are. That's probably the biggest part of this. It's meeting everyone where they are. We're all trying to do our very best. Try talking to somebody, greeting somebody with your eyes only.
Oh yeah. I've been doing that at the grocery store. I'm such a thinker.
Hard.
If somebody helps me or points
Yeah.
me, I'm such a like a thinker, and it's kind of I'm over exaggerating to where my boyfriend is like, you're doing too much.
Yes.
They get it. They get it. But
Yes.
but I get that. And listen, you speak of that reality, and for all those listening,
So
I
real.
know I know that what you describe yourself, that is, you are a true superhuman. Like, I cannot imagine that this is not a couple days out of the week. This is your reality. This is your
Every
work
single day.
and your personal life. And I can
Every
only
single day.
imagine, just as you just touched on, this idea of making sure that your physical body is ready and prepared for your family, but also your mindset and your mental health. Like,
your mind.
I've been truly personally passionate and sharing with my community this idea of, like, we have two realms of health. There's the physical aspect and there's the mental aspect. And as somebody that lives in a very much fitness dominated industry, I cannot help but think that I'm responsible to push constantly this idea of mental, emotional, and spiritual health, especially in times like this. So when you speak, Dr. Gina, I'm literally applauding, but I don't want to, so I'm not, over clapping over what you're saying. But I'm just grateful that human beings like you exist. And again, I know I speak for everyone. I say thank you for your efforts and what you do, for not only what you do in the hospital in your professional life, but what you do for your family. It really sheds light on the realities for people in your shoes and what you're really going through to keep us safe. So thank you so much for that. Now,
and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I was reminded by my colleague that's on the call right now, on the live right now, Dr.
cool.
Gil Smith, who is a fellowship trained child psychiatrist. I want to shout out Dr. Gil Smith. He's tuning in with us today. So we just have to be so aware of the mental health of people that we don't even know where people are right now, what their normal reality is. What's normal for you may not be normal for me in this. So, and we all learn how to deal with stress in a different way, right? So I implore you, if you see somebody struggling, or even if you don't, okay, I need you to meet them where they are, okay? Maybe that's just doing a kind act of getting your neighbor's grass cut when you see somebody cutting your grass, because maybe they don't have somebody to, feel comfortable, or getting anything that you can do. Dropping off a grocery for an older person, or even just calling a friend who may need some help with childcare. All those things are important in this time, meeting people where they are. That's so important for mental health, for physical, for spiritual. It's always so important.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you. Because it is Mental Health Awareness Month. I wanted to transition this conversation to a lot of commonly asked questions that people have, myself included. I'm actually working with clients that have said that they left their mail or their Amazon delivery boxes on their front door for 3 days. So, like, if there are any germs, that they want them to die off before they bring them into their household, and then later had some theft, which is obviously not cool. Can you speak on whether or not, okay, firstly, this, if you live in an apartment, because I have so many friends out in New York that are, doing life, living in an apartment, stacked upon other people. If you are leaving your apartment to simply go to the trash chute, should you be wearing a mask? Should you be wearing gloves? What would be some safety measures for people, like, in the simple day-to-day things, taking out the trash to the chute? What is your
so the glove thing is a little bit it can be a little bit misconstrued, just because people wear gloves and then they contaminate themselves, right? So they wear gloves, they go do what they have to do, but then they're also with the gloves on their phone. And then when they take the gloves off, they're back on their phone and they haven't cleaned their phone or decontaminated their phone. Right. So if you're going to use gloves, that's great, awesome when you go to public places. But, like, don't scratch your face with the glove on. Now you've touched your steering wheels. I see people driving with the gloves on. It's like, that just defeats the purpose of gloves. Masks,
Sure.
I think it's great if you leave your home and have a mask on. I am pro mask,
Always.
hashtag pro mask.
Got you.
Yes. And I think it's you're protecting, it's a good protection for yourself, but you're also protecting others when you wear that, right? Because you're not spreading your foam. It's for others.
There we go.
Do your part. Do your part.
Yes.
So I really
Well, thy
believe
neighbor,
that,
please.
yes, and don't hug people. That we're not hugging people right now that aren't quarantining with you. People are, all these things are being shared about these plastic bags and hugging people. We're not giving hugs right now. And don't even blow kisses. So don't blow kisses right now. But what I want to say about masks is, if you feel like you're going to come in contact or may come in contact with somebody while you walking, a neighbor, somebody that may be doing their trash and you want to say hello to them, I just think it's a good idea. Put your mask on. Now, I wouldn't be worried that you're going to, have to wear it, if you are meeting with someone in your family or someone in your house. You don't have to wear it in your house, okay? If you're quarantining with these people, you don't have to wear a mask going around in your house. But if you're meeting with somebody outside, you should keep 6 feet. Yes. What's the magic about 6 feet? Why not 8 feet or 12 feet? There's no magic with 6 feet. I just stay enough apart where you can't reach out and touch somebody. Okay. That's the goal. Don't reach out and touch anybody. But I think you should have a mask on. There's no special thing about 6 feet. There's just not. But I think you should not reach out and touch someone and have your mask on at all times.
Now, what about jogging? Now, this is a personal question because I am jogging every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what our governor or our mayor has told us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I am trying to abide by the rules here. It is really difficult to run with a mask
Very hard.
What would you say to people that want to run and enjoy the outdoors and just get some exercise in their local neighborhood? Should we be wearing a mask the entire time?
I am not exercising. I'm not recommending exercise outdoor with a mask on. So if you're outdoors and you're in fresh circulating air, which is the world we live in, I don't recommend you wearing a mask outside. Have there been people who have gotten dizzy with a mask on, breathing, huffing and puffing and breathing in,
myself included.
Carbon dioxide. It takes your breath away in more ways than one. But if you're in a closed environment like a gym that's open now in Texas, and there's not like circulation, there's not special air filters and things like that, I would have my mask on. Low cardio work like weightlifting and that kind of stuff. And I would be sanitizing the heck out of free weights. I mean, we're just not ready for that at this point. But I would be sanitizing myself if I were to enter a gym. I'm not going to the gym. I'm doing all workouts from home right now.
Yay.
So yay, workout from home. Losing the baby weight, breastfeeding, #breastfeeding. So I just encourage everyone to get outside, get some fresh air, take your kids outside, buy a bike, go do a picnic outside under a tree. And enjoy the outdoors. That's what I'm doing with my kids. So
perfect. Well, this is a good transition. Self-care for Dr. Gina.
Yes.
What are you doing? I mean, we've heard about this, what you're doing as you pull up into your driveway to your home, which I think is amazing. Is there anything or favorite practices that you're doing for a little self-care? Mother of 4, what are you doing for yourself?
I am. And my nails. I do eye masks every night. And they make me refresh my whole look. I feel good. I shower every morning that I'm off, and I just get dressed for the day. And I know that sounds very cliche, but let me tell you why getting dressed and not staying in pajamas and your hair wrapped up with your, rollers in, why that's so freeing. Because at any point, if you want to pass by a mirror and look by, we don't feel like ourselves. We feel like we may be a shell of ourselves. And so if you can pass by a mirror and catch a glimpse of yourself and you feel good, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you feel that you look good, you will feel good. Okay? So you're doing it for you, not for anybody else. I don't do full makeup and all that all day. But I do get myself ready for the day. Even when I'm in the house with my kids, I get myself ready for the day. And I pour myself a glass of wine in the evening, and I just kind of wind down with my husband and my kids, and I make it normal for them. Because it has to be normal. We have to reset to a new normal. And so we build
Absolutely.
castles outside. What do I do for mom? Mom sits there and enjoys. I'm not on my phone. I turn my phone off in the evening, do not disturb. And I sit there with them and I soak in the sun, which I've never done before when I'm home with them. I'm like, hey, come over
Staying
here, clean your room.
perfect.
Hey,
And
yeah.
yeah,
And
staying present, very staying
yes,
present with
staying
them.
present. That makes me
Yeah.
feel like present and good as a mom. Now, I don't always have those days, right? But that's what I do for me.
Yeah.
I get myself ready. I do like my eye masks. I put on some lip gloss and it makes me feel good. I don't do full face makeup, but I do like, I'm presentable. And
I'm the same way. I love that.
mhm,
Yes.
yeah, and it's for me,
That's
and I do it for
important.
me. Hmm.
Yeah, good. Very good. I tell people like are asking me like what am I doing for self-care? Because I'm an advocate of self-care. And in times like this, like it's like the little simple things. When I get up in the morning, I'm not gonna stay in my pajamas. I get up, I even wear makeup
Right.
and I'm not even a makeup person, but like doing a
Yeah.
little
Hmm.
mascara and a little gloss.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
just want to feel not so sloppy. As
Right.
simple as that. So I love
Right.
that you mentioned that. And it's the little things that you can do that
Yes.
are otherwise be very normal in any other given situation. But this is beautiful. And I think you obviously are doing a great job. And shout out to your husband. Because I know
Thank
what
you.
it's
He's
like to have
wonderful.
4 children. Yeah, and to have a partner that can
Yeah.
support you and in this time with a family. That's a shout out to him because
Yes.
we often talk about how superhero that we can be as women, but we also recognize we have partners that are also hand in hand doing just as much work. So
Absolutely. He's
shout
so
out to
hands
her.
on. He's so hands on. It's
Oh,
wonderful.
good.
It's
I can
great.
only, it's good. I'm so happy. So,
Yes.
Dr. Gina, I want to be respectful of your time. We're having a wonderful conversation. And again, I appreciate you. For those that are coming onto the show and I have the pleasure of speaking with, we actually end with this rapid questions kind of
Sure.
game. And I ask you from more of a personal perspective, a bunch of questions. So if you don't mind,
Sure.
we'll get right in.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's do this. Nice and simple. These are supposed to be nice and fun. All right. Your favorite song or genre to either head to work listening to, work out, what's in the radio, what's in the earpieces?
It's Michael Jackson. I'm taking it all the way back to
All the
MJ.
way back.
Oh
I love
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. Michael
Okay.
Jackson. Hmm.
Lately, it's been a lot of like Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce has been that song, but I like an old throwback. Very
Yes.
nice. What would you say your love language is?
Touch.
Touch. Oh,
Wonderful to
especially
be
these times.
touched. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
very
miss it
nice.
so much.
Yeah, okay. Very good. I love that one. This will be a good one for you. Time alone or time together? Together. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
Extrovert. Hmm.
Yes. Are you a coffee or tea person?
Coffee.
Of course. Smoothies or juices?
Smoothie. Hmm.
Nice. The last thing you said to your kids?
I'm going to go on a call. Don't bother me.
Usually when I ask this for those that have kids, it's like, mommy's gonna take a call. Don't make any noise. Do not bother me. Do not knock on that door. I'm like, that's honest. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Here's one for you. I wrote this myself. If you weren't a doctor, what other profession would you have pursued?
Oh, I'd have been a dancer.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, like a
I'd have been like
professional dancer?
backup dancer. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now I gotta ask, are
Hmm.
you a dancer or do you just
No,
like this? Okay, you're like
I
me
only
because
wish.
yes, because I'm the same. I cannot. I mean, I feel like I can dance, but not like dance. But
But
I
I got to
always
get a
wanted to
Lita body
be.
first. I got to get a Lita
Yeah,
body. I got
please.
my honey. Wait,
Yeah.
I
How old is your daughter?
say it again.
So cute. Did it? How old is your daughter? Your number four. Oh, Dr. Gina, you there? Oh, see, 3 months. Girl, give yourself some time. You did cut out there, but I hear you now.
Okay, good.
You're a
I
little
can
bit
hear you.
spotty, actually.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. Dr. Gina, you out there saving the world, so you got plenty of time to get yourself a leader buddy, okay?
Baby, I'm on my way.
Okay, I'm with that. Yes. I got a few more for you though. Um, how about this? Somebody you admire.
I admire. Hmm.
Or I can also make it this question. Can you name somebody that you would love to have an in-depth conversation with?
Michelle Obama.
Yes, she's
Michelle
popular.
Obama.
I
Yes,
will
she
say a lot
is.
of the ladies that I get to speak with, a few of them have said
Yeah.
Michelle Obama, and that makes sense, don't it?
Michelle
It makes
Obama.
sense.
Yes.
Perfect. And then I'm sure that also answers the first question, which is somebody you admire, because I know we can
Yes.
all say we admire that woman. Beautiful. All right, how about this? Bath or shower?
Bah.
Land or sea?
See.
Yeah, me too.
Hmm.
Sneakers or stilettos?
Stiletto, baby, all day.
Girl,
Red
okay.
bottom. Red
Okay.
bottom. Yeah,
I
red
should say
bottom.
she's gonna say scrubs or something. All right, the red bottom. She said, ladies. Okay. What time do you wake up, Dr. Gina?
4:45.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. What time you go to bed?
Um, Depending on what series my husband and I are watching, 11:30
Okay,
midnight.
not bad. But that's my next question. Can you name a TV series that you're currently binging?
Yes, I can.
That sounds like there's several.
Yes, right now on Netflix, we are watching, oh my goodness, it just fleeted from my mind. We are watching, oh my goodness.
Describe it. I've been watching a
Uh,
lot of TV myself.
it's with Ruby and the drugs and
Ozark, girl.
Ozark. I couldn't
Woo!
think of it. Ozark.
Fire. It is top five series of all
Yes,
time. I love it. What are you in, season
in
one,
that.
two, or three?
We're still on one. I'm only on episode 6.
Oh, you have many hours ahead of you of pure entertainment.
We
That is a
love
great
it.
show.
We love it.
Yes, perfect. I love that. Keep on watch all the way to season three. I tell you, my boyfriend and I we watched season three in like 2 days. I'm actually really embarrassed to admit that. It was so good.
I know. I love it. I
The
love
whole
it.
weekend. The whole weekend is
Ooh,
horrible, but
wow.
but great. So I'm glad that you said that. A few
Ozark.
more, I promise, and I'll let you go.
Sure.
Can you please name one thing that you love about your body? Yeah, perfect. I like that. Can you name one thing you love about your personality?
Um, it's vibrant. Can't stop, won't stop. It's
Yes.
vibrant.
I was gonna say
Vibrant.
if you were gonna have a trouble answering that, I don't even know you personally, but your energy through this phone, I'm getting. So it's definitely that. I love that. Okay. One thing you love about being a doctor.
The ability to, oh God, this question is so loaded. I love this question. Um, to feel called, truly called to not only heal, but just to listen. People want somebody
Oh,
who's going
yes.
to listen and to share in wherever they are in that part of their life, to be able to trust you the
Mm.
most at the most inopportune times. People
The most
trust me.
vulnerable
The
time.
most vulnerable time. Nobody asks to come see me. Nobody makes an appointment to come see me. As an emergency physician, it is one of the most harrowing things to be able to sit next to somebody and be an advocate and be their voice and do the best for
Mm.
them and perform a life-saving measure, and
Yeah.
sometimes to not, if that
Mm.
resonates, sometimes to not.
Mm.
Um, and it's probably my greatest passion in life, and it's definitely my biggest joy.
That is a
So
beautiful answer. And even as you say that, when you say listen, God forbid I ever get sick, but I want you to be my
I
doctor
will be
because,
there. I will be there.
girl, because that's one thing I feel like a lot of people struggle with the medical system is the
Yeah.
idea that you're just a number and like the doctors aren't listening, they don't listen. So I love that you said that. Thank you so much. Two more questions, Dr. Gina, and I'm gonna let you go, I
Okay.
promise. Give me one thing that you would tell your 16-year-old self.
Trust your dreams.
Yes. Okay.
Trust your
Beautiful.
dreams. Hmm.
Beautiful. Thank you. And last and final, can you name one thing that is on your bucket list that you haven't yet accomplished?
Yes, I can. I want to be able to reach those who maybe felt like they couldn't reach out,
Mm,
and offer my advice, my help. But I want to be in the medical community. I want to be a louder voice. And I've struggled with how to go about it, how to do it, imposter syndrome. What do you have off to offer that 80 or 100,000 other doctors haven't already tried to offer?
mm,
But dealing with that kind of imposter syndrome. So, but
get it.
becoming more of a focus for the African American community,
Yes.
and being a voice there, and just kind of being able to sit and be present with people where they are. So that's kind of what's on my list to do, and I'm working towards that. I'm not there yet.
No, let me tell you this. Whatever we have the courage to say with our mouths, we can manifest into reality. And I love that you mentioned this on your bucket list, meaning that it needs to remain there. I have full faith that when we can envision it, that it is meant for us, right? God put that in your heart
Absolutely.
and your soul. And because it's such a giving and selfless act, I put prayers behind that because I know that it'll be something that you do. And to one thing that you said, because I've also dealt with this, even in my space of health and fitness, like, well, what can I offer? Because I feel like in an overly saturated industry, everybody's offering it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And a mentor of mine said, and very simply, but no one is you. And Dr. Gina, your energy is truly is so sincere. And again, I don't know you personally. And I mean that genuinely when I say that you have a very beautiful nature, and to know that you're out there as an ER physician, helping people, saving people's lives, it brings me much joy, especially as another
Thank
woman of
you.
color. So know that whatever you choose to do in the future, know that even if it is a repeat of something else that another doctor is already doing and sharing, know they are not you, and whatever you show up in the world is meant for you to share. And I just put prayers behind that. And again,
Thank
truly,
you.
just thank you for your time, your knowledge, your wisdom, and sharing with us here on Hello Fitness TV. I'm truly
Absolutely.
grateful.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much for having me, Lita. And
of course,
I'm gonna be working and looking at your page
girl.
so I can get
Okay.
my Lita on.
Please do. I got a whole bunch of at-home workouts. So again,
Thank
stay
you.
at home, work out at home. Even
Yes,
if you are in a
ma'am.
state where the gyms are opening up, know that it might not be the safest place. So there's so
Absolutely.
many resources out there, myself included. Go to the Instagram account. We're sharing plenty of at-home workouts, and you don't even need any equipment, and the whole family can do it
Wonderful.
too. So please go check it out. But Dr. Gina, please enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening at this point. Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Much love to you and your family. Please stay safe out there, and thank you again.
Thank you, Lita. Take care.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.